Sophie brought Ben with her today. Ben, can you introduce yourself, please? I keep saying introduce yourself. Yes. Do that. Yeah.
Hello, my name is Ben Soyser Montague. I am husband to one of the most fiery women in the world.
Yes.
I'm also a presenter, comedian, social media consultant, dancer, and I've just started getting into stunts as well. So busy boy. Basically, I can't commit to anything other than my wife.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Is that a lot to take in?
It is a lot to take in, but it's brilliant. And I'm so glad that you agreed to have this like literal 3-5 minutes with me, because I'm going to ask you a really important question. We were having a chat just a few minutes ago, and I was asking you how I, as Health Mary's SheEO, could get our message across to men in a way that is inclusive. Although Health Mary in itself is a women's only platform, and like you can see through our Health Mary store, we're able to give men access, because you can obviously get access to our practitioners through the store. But I asked you that, and I said, how can I make my brand more accessible and acceptable to the male gender? I ask with humility, because I know that I have come from a particular point of view, and I don't want to assume that I know what needs to be done or said, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I guess before I answer your question, I'm curious to know, what is the call to action that you would like from men when engaging with Health Mary?
I want them to feel very normal about it, that this is a brand that caters to women. I want them to feel comfortable with that. I want them to know that the women in their lives do need more than just flowers and things, that the women in their lives need people, especially if they're going through particular stages in life. They need people, and that those people are available and accessible.
Okay. I think that there are two main challenges with marketing to men. One, we're very fragile. I saw it. Yeah, I think so. I think marketing to men is a very difficult thing. I saw an advert for concealer for men, and it was called War Paint.
Oh.
That's how fragile men are. They're like, oh,
if
I wear makeup, I gotta go to war with it. I gotta look beautiful. So you have like this big barrier to entry where men need to feel. I think in general, all of us want to feel like we connect with the brand.
Yes.
And so I think that's going to be challenge number one, is how do you take something that is doing incredible work for the female space with female practitioners? How do you take that and let men know that you want them to be involved in that space? Maybe there's something within slight tonal change in social media. Maybe you can have Health Mary allies. Maybe you can have and try and kind of communicate with them and just be like, because you want men to be proactive, right?
Yes,
I know.
you do.
Sophie comes home and she's like, you knew I was late. Why you didn't start dinner? Right? And so there is like these things, there's barriers that we need to overcome. So I think that's the first one. And I forgot the second one because I spoke too much.
No, I mean, that is spot on. And I think that it's important to have these open conversations. And I want Health Mary to be a space or a brand that people understand is not about exclusivity, is excluding, it's about inclusivity, and that as a female brand, we do kind of recognize that we live in the same world, and we kind of need to collaborate, and there's no gender, there shouldn't be any gender diversity. We should work together. I have to admit that the one of the reasons I'm bringing this up as well is because I do recognize the remarkable influence people in my life who are men have on me as a woman. And this is one of the things I want to raise today, right? How somebody like my dad, for instance, would, when I said to him I was going to pack my bags with 500 pounds, and my husband, who we graduated the same day, literally. So my husband and I were both are medical doctors. We literally graduated the same day. We packed a suitcase between us and with £500. And I said, I'm marrying this guy and we're off to Britain. And Sophie's clapping. And I know, right? Most parents will go like, what? Especially since I came from a big, close-knit family. This is me kind of going off. And he was like, yeah, you got it. You're in the driving seat. And you've got this. Go. The way he would say is like, means I just go. I've prayed about it. Off you go. Not once. And this is a guy that I would have been in year 10 equivalent, I think. And I came to him, I was like, I've taken the GCSE and now I want to take the entrance exam to uni so I can go to uni a year before my mates, which I did. And not once did he ask me why. He was like, okay, yeah. And he made it seem so normal that I'm this kid who just kind of went a few steps ahead all the time. And that kind of male presence in my life does count. It made a big difference in my journey. So I forget why I was telling this story in the first place.
That's one each.
I know, right? Why was I saying this? But I guess I was trying to draw how important it is that male narrative is that we draw the fact that the male narrative is just as important. And I don't want Health Mary to seem exclusive, if that makes sense.
But interesting that the male presence you recall the most is the one that empowered you, not the one that gave you that power. So in the sense of you were like, I want to do this thing. And your dad was like, cool, of course, you're a strong person. Not, as a woman, you should be protected. Yeah. I feel like we are at a crossroads with masculinity where it can go in one of two ways. And I think the negative way is the sort of like, women want a strong leader. And like, what? Why do you don't need a strong, who do you need? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think we're at a crossroads where masculinity can be sensitive, it can be empathy, it can be a better fashion sense. Please help me. Why am I can only choose between t-shirts and jeans. It's not fair. So I think we are at a crossroads, and I think that is the thing that kind of, when you're saying about inclusivity, I think it comes with this challenge of men are still trying to redefine what masculinity means.
Yes.
And we are definitely at a crossroads for that. And I think Health Mary and having an open conversation with men about feelings, about biology, about all of those things can start to sort of widen the radar and start bringing people into the conversation.
Yeah. And in my thinking, giving men the opportunity to really access female specialists for their women is, I think, a good way to kind of translate that confidence.
Yes. Sorry, I'm going to totally interrupt you. Yes, sorry. Yeah, one thing that I definitely wish I did have was like learning materials. My wife is going through one of the biggest changes that she'll ever experience. She's going through pregnancy. Yeah. There were absolutely like I had no idea where to get information from. I think when you're in the female sort of sphere, your friends kind of know because your mom spoke about it, or like that conversation happens. When you're a dude, I remember I spoke to one friend who just had a kid and he was like, nah, mate, it's easy. You just let her do her thing. I was like, I don't want to, that's not the kind of dad I want to be. So yeah, I do think like maybe if there's something that Health Mary could do in the sense of helping to educate men who do want to be a more proactive partner. And I don't want my wife to be able to say, yeah, he was an average bloke. I don't want her to be able to say that. So any materials that I could like learn or a way to gain knowledge in that sense would be huge.
Yeah. Now you have two.
Now I have two.
Yeah.
3, 4.
Yeah. So many, the whole room. Yeah. And my final question for you is, what did Jeff think about Russell?
What did Jeff think
about? I called him Russell, the Russian blue that invaded Jade.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to give some context for people who don't know. Jeff is the name of our cat. Our cat is called Jeff. We had a cat come into our house from nowhere, who Sophie is called Tinkerbell, I've called Wobble, and just full on started eating Jeff's food.
Yes.
And we were like, Jeff is not happy with this, and everyone thought that we were talking about people. It's a cat. And Jeff found out, and you know when they do that, this one, there were a lot of conversations had between the two of them. I don't know if they've worked it out.
Yeah, because I saw the video of you looking so bereft, thinking, mate, why are you eating Jeff's food? He was literally talking to this stray cat that had invaded your home, and you were like, why are you eating? He's not gonna like it. And then you were like, that's when he started eating Jeff's food, you were like, that's gonna cost quite a bit. We hadn't planned for two.
That's true. You got a budget for those meals.
Yeah, I call him Russell.
Russell.
Yeah.
Russell, okay.
What happened to him? To Russell?
I think so. Our cat is a serial murderer.
Yeah.
Brought home grouse, rabbits, pigeons. I just hope that nothing goes up on the Facebook group for the community that they're missing a cat. That's all I'm going to say.
Where is Russell? Thank you very much, Ben. Appreciate it. Thank you.